Let's do it, baby.
Should be live.
Let's do it.
We should be live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is episode number, what are we at? 128?
128.
128. Episode 128.
Woo!
Awesome Hardware is a live show. We stream to twitch.tv/awesomehardware and also to YouTube every week, Tuesday evening, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we split the show in half. So the first half of today's show, episode 128, was actually already streamed to Kyle's YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/bitwit. Link to that should be in the description if you missed it. On this show, we talk about technology, computers, computer building,
Life, love.
we speak freely and openly, which means occasionally we use bad words. So keep that in mind.
Shit.
You're really bad at this disclaimer thing.
Bitch.
Beyond that, thank you
Okay,
for joining us, and let's get right
Into the news.
The show. Oh, we drink beer too. Did I mention that?
We do. Thank God.
You do more.
Thank God. Just a tame, nice 5.3% beer.
Where'd the opener go?
Oh, thank God.
What'd you do with the opener?
It's right here.
Oh, you got it. We also drink a beer, so if you'd like to join us, if you're of age, of course, if you want to drink responsibly, thank you for doing that. Right now, we're just finishing off the Oktoberfest, since it is now November, and we had a very long October. We had many awesome hardwares in October. We had 5.
Did we have 5?
Awesome hardware episodes. In
Really?
October. Yeah.
It's
That's why it seemed like there was a lot of awesome hardware in October. But cheers! Thanks for being here, guys.
What's wrong with that? Cheers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you enjoy our content and want to help support us, check out our stores. If you buy stuff during the show, we will shout out your name at the end of it.
Johnson.
In fact, Kyle didn't even do his Johnsons at the end of his half. We're going to do him at the end of my half.
Because it was so long.
It was very long
saving
already.
It for your half.
All right, so shut up.
Shut up!
I got bottle openers and shirts and mugs, pint glasses. It's all really high quality stuff. Check it out. bitwit.tech/store is Kyle's store. He also has tons of stuff, including new decals.
Everyone buy a decal and a Beware of Bottleneck shirt.
Yep.
And an RGB everything shirt.
That will make you sexy.
But just buy everything on the top row.
All those things.
I'll be happy.
Beyond that, though, let us move into some technology news. And let me hold on. Right here.
No.
All right, so starting off with the big news, which is Intel and AMD. Typically, Intel and AMD are competitors. They are. They fight with each other. They hit each other.
They're bitches. Bro bitches.
Well,
rival bitches.
They're rivals.
Rival.
I don't know, bitches. Really,
no, they're definitely bitches.
That really comes into
they're
it.
They're definitely bitches.
Yeah. According to this article from PC Gamer, by the way, all the articles we're talking about today are linked in the video's description. Intel and AMD are joining forces in order to create this thing right here, this basically hybrid monolith system.
So it's an
on
Intel
a chip.
CPU with an
Intel
Radeon GPU,
a Radeon GPU
with HBM
and
memory,
HBM2 memory, all on the same package.
Sexy.
They made this video. We're gonna play it real quick.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Look at those charts.
Look at that. Look at them graphics.
The goal here from Intel and AMD is to basically create better laptops, thin and light laptops that you can take on the go with you that aren't just able to do web browsing and that sort of thing, but can also do some gaming perhaps. Building thinner and lighter and more powerful enthusiast mobile platforms with an eye towards AAA gaming and content creation. The product itself will combine a Core H series CPU with a second generation high bandwidth memory, or HBM2 memory. So you take GDDR5 and you stack it, and it becomes HBM. That's how it works.
Stack that shit.
That is functionally how it works.
Yes.
Also, you can see here, this is a demonstration here, a visual demonstration of what is at the heart of this chip, the Embedded Multi-Die Interconnect Bridge, or EMIB. Look at the EMIB going. That's EMIB. That's the EMIB.
Right.
Communicating.
So that removes the need for a silicon interposer, if I remember correctly.
It is a small intelligent bridge that allows heterogeneous silicon to quickly pass information in a close proximity. I mean, if you want to be specific or whatever. But the MIB, like the way it's been described is like it's a way for different parts of the chip to communicate with each other.
Right.
The demonstration and some of the demos I showed were like even different manufacturing process-based chips. You can have a CPU based on one process, a GPU based on one process, I/O based on one process, and you can still connect them all together and have them communicate at a high frequency, a high data rate together. Take Infinity Fabric from AMD.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the basic concept is kind of the same.
Right.
I've been drinking, so I'm not going to go into further detail than that.
Good call.
But
good call.
Key in reducing height requirements also cuts down on manufacturing and design complexities. So that's kind of cool. So the expectation is we're going to have something with like a Kaby Lake or Coffee Lake style instructions per clock. Combine that with something like a Vega style GPU compute capability.
That would be badass.
At the right frequencies, it is quite badass. Vega is not known for its efficiency because in order to make Vega competitive, Vega has been run at very high clock speeds. But at more reasonable clock speeds, Vega actually is very efficient.
Do we know if this is going to be Vega or Polaris based?
I believe, from what I've read, it's Vega, but don't take my word for that. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But the upshot is potentially some pretty cool, power efficient, and yet still graphically powerful systems based on this in the future.
Nice.
There's really not much more detail on that. There's no like SKUs, there's no product numbers, there's no launch dates, there's no price, there's nothing. So it's just the fact that it's happening and it is a thing.
It's one of the few reasons to get excited about mobile.
Yeah.
If anything.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price has slipped below $7,000. Everyone's upset. Like, why $7,000?
What
and then everyone's like, wait,
terrible travesty.
Wait, it went over $7,000? Yes, it did.
That's crazy.
Bitcoin has been on a bit of a tear recently.
What?
Let's look.
It went from 7,600 to slipping below 7,000.
Gonna look at the data here.
Boo hoo! I only have $7,000 of Bitcoin.
Here is the current Bitcoin price.
Oh, so it's jumped up a little bit since then to 7,300.
Wait, what?
7,350 is the current standing.
This has changed like literally
within the last couple hours. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, basically, it makes this post irrelevant.
Wow.
Because
all right.
We're pretty much back up to where we just.
It still hasn't peaked as high as it did before, but it did jump back up a little bit to the mid 7,300. This is like in the past couple hours. This is in like what I was going to say in this.
So does that mean this article was written like here?
No. So
right before the drop.
Let's look at the last month.
We should really get into Bitcoin mining. You and I, Paul. We could rule the world.
Once my Powerwall gets installed and I have solar going, then I won't mind using the extra power to mine some coins. All right, so Bitcoin actually peaked at $7,600 on Monday. That's yesterday.
And it's still...
so if you look at the 1 week, here's Monday. All right, Sunday. Where's Monday? I don't know. This is the chart's weird.
Wrong. Stupid. But I'm seeing 7,600 right there.
Yeah, I'm seeing around 7,600. Drop back down, around 7,000. Apparently, it's jumped back up another $300-400 in the past couple hours since we started talking about this. Since I pulled this story up in general. But long story short, Bitcoin has been increasing a lot. I mean, it wasn't just like a month or two ago. It was like 4,000, and suddenly we're seeing it breach prices even higher than that. However, at the same time, we're not apparently seeing an increase in GPU prices along with it, which is useful. Ethereum at the same time has peaked just over $340 back on October 14th, and it's been around $300 ever since. So
wow, it's way behind Bitcoin then.
Oh well, yeah, I mean Ethereum is very it's.
I didn't realize it was that far behind.
Well, Bitcoin's is kind of the standard for cryptocurrency. Ethereum is more So here's the peak of Ethereum.
But the idea is that the more
there's the peak of Ethereum,
the more valuable the cryptocurrency is, the harder it is to mine, right? From what I understand.
Not necessarily.
The more people mining it, the more difficult it is to mine.
If a cryptocurrency's value increases, then yes, there will probably be more people mining it.
I wasn't sure, like, if you're the effectiveness of how much you can mine is determined by, in some way, how many people are mining it, or the value of. I guess it would be how many people are mining it, because that's dependent on the value of the cryptocurrency. If the value goes up, then more people are going to be mining it, and then it gets increasingly difficult to. You need a higher hash rate to correlate with how many people are mining a certain cryptocurrency. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything in this aspect. I wish I did. I wish I knew all the things about cryptocurrency and Ethereum and Bitcoin. But
there are relationships between those things, but it would depend on the specific cryptocurrency and how it operates, and when it comes to increases in difficulty and also values, to an extent that I don't want to try to say anything more specific.
Let's not paint ourselves into that corner.
Good idea. All right. But follow-up. Because the reason we talk about cryptocurrency at all on this channel is related to the price of graphics cards. Because the popularity of cryptocurrency mining in general has led to the increase in prices of graphics cards, and more specifically AMD graphics cards. PC World pointed out, well, this is from late last week, there are actually some Vega 56 and Vega 64 GPUs that are starting to apparently sell for their actual retail price, or much closer to their retail price. This article is from Brad Sharkus, and it specifically talks about Vega 56s being available for about $420, Vega 64s being available for $500, or their MSRP, their promised price from AMD. According to the article, the sudden burst of availability is likely tied to the GTX 1070 Ti's released, which kind of makes sense to me, I guess. But yeah, let's take a look right now. I'm gonna refresh. Let's refresh. Let's look at Newegg right now, because this will change by the hour. We're gonna look at only Newegg sellers. Look at that.
So,
back order. Wow. Back order.
Okay.
Add to cart though. Sorry. So
Vega 64 for $550.
We can get a Vega 64 for $550 right now.
That ain't bad,
and you can add it to cart and buy it.
It's not bad.
It's $50 more than the MSRP, but it's less than. Add to cart. Look at this. Vega 56. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
You get no price.
Why can't I add it?
You get no pricing on the product.
Why can't I add it to cart?
You can't buy this product, Paul.
Newegg's
we'll
like
tantalize you with the product page. Wait, refresh
it. That is awful.
That's not right.
Can I add to cart from here? This is all right.
You have
Vega 56 from Power Color for $3.99. Add to cart.
$10. Okay.
I've added it to my cart.
For $3.99.
I'm gonna get Will Call and City of Industry.
Hey, you can pick it up tomorrow. You can pick it up tomorrow morning.
It's gonna be all right.
There you go.
Let's look at all right. So that
versus
that is a Vega 56 that you can buy right now for $400.
Granted, reference blower style.
I'm impressed. All right, let's look at 64s.
500.
Let's sort by lowest price.
Oh, back order.
Back order. Add to cart.
Oh, $500. Power Color. $500.
This is amazing.
Nice.
I can buy.
Somehow they're not completely sold out.
A Vega 64 right now for $500 from Newegg.
You should do it. You should just buy it right now.
This is amazing.
On stream, buy it.
No,
why would you buy it?
I don't want. I have one right there. I don't need another one.
I forgot.
It's cool. But the upshot is that's good news. That's good news that these cards are coming down in price. It means that hopefully the inventory is coming back. or they're not just being all immediately bought up by.
And suddenly these Vega
miners.
cards are more competitive with the GeForce alternatives, like the GTX 1070 and
Well, of course, now you have to take the
1070
1070 Ti into consideration.
1080, of course.
Makes it all confusing.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. Titan XP Star Wars Collectible Editions have been announced are launching from Nvidia. Titan XP is one thing where you don't get specialized third-party versions of it. At least you typically don't. Sometimes you might get a water-cooled version here or there, but most of the time, the only Titan XP you can buy is the reference version. So, Star Wars Collectible Editions are a much different variant of that, and there are two versions. There's the Alliance.
So, okay, am I the only one that's like
there's the Horde and the Alliance.
by the fact that this is a Star Wars launch? Am I the only one that finds this weird?
Weird? Why is it weird?
Because when's the last time any GPU manufacturer launched a flagship GPU in collaboration with a pop culture IP?
I don't know, but it's Star Wars. I mean,
I know, but
Star Wars is owned by Disney, and Disney will slap their IP on anything that people
spend money on,
are willing to pay exorbitant prices for, and this is no different.
And Nvidia is the first one to snatch that
Nvidia is the first one to be like, hell yeah,
fuck yeah,
hell yeah, $200 premium on our Titan XP.
I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I'm just saying it's unexpected. I'm very thrown off by this. I'm not used to seeing a premium GPU collide.
Look, at least they're still including the display.
IP.
They're still including the display port to DVI adapter, so that at least we can still be happy with. But we got the Jedi Order version here, which has a more distressed sort of look, and we have the Galactic Empire version, which has a bit more clean look and.
I don't know, man. I'm feeling the Jedi.
These have been specifically crafted to reflect the look and feel of the Star Wars galaxy. They contain hints such as the hilt of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and light panels reminiscent of the Death Star. Right?
There you go.
Sure.
I still think the lights should be RGB.
Sure it does.
I still think it should be RGB.
RGB, okay.
If you're paying $1,200, yes.
All right.
Yes.
The Jedi Order GPU simulates the wear and tear and battle-worn finish of many items used by the Rebel Alliance.
Yarr.
Whereas the Galactic Empire GPU's finish features simple, clean lines emulating the high-end, orderly nature of the resource-rich Empire. Finishes of both of these versions took years to perfect. There is, of course, specialized retail packaging for both of these as well. Specialized backplates with the Star Wars logo.
These cards should make lightsaber sounds.
Embedded into them.
They should make lightsaber sounds inside of your case.
That would be cool. They should make lightsaber sounds.
Anytime they're under load, they're like...
Specialized retail packaging.
That'd be really annoying.
Now, GeForce Experience. Do you use the GeForce Experience? I typically don't.
What is that?
Really?
No.
It installs some video drivers.
No, I know. But no, I was basically saying no, I don't use GeForce Experience.
Okay, I typically don't either, but
no, I don't.
If you are a user of GeForce Experience, you get exclusive pre-order access to these Titan XP special editions. Jedi Order and Galactic Empire Titan XP editions.
So you get like front row pre-order priority?
Yeah, before the cards are broadly available mid-November.
Okay.
Starting tomorrow, which I believe is today, according to this article. GeForce Experience users can purchase one card of each design by using their login credentials at the Nvidia store. They are $1,200 each, and there's no information in the article what happens if you attempt to SLI the Galactic Empire version and the Jedi Order version together. I feel like they would cancel each other out or cause your... You'd see when the Death Star explodes, that's what your computer would do. That's what would happen there. I don't know. Or perhaps it would bring balance to the Force. You know?
It could be that too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see some unique builds with these GPUs in them, perhaps.
Pretty cool.
But again, at $1,200, they're definitely very high end, very collector's items.
Indeed.
I asked Nvidia if they would give me one. I haven't.
Still pending a reply.
I haven't heard back yet.
Pending response.
I'm really not sure what they're going to say.
expected.
All right. Did any of you guys have your internet go out yesterday? There was a nationwide internet outage.
Really?
It was actually caused by a tiny error by one of the major internet service, the internet backbone companies, level 3. But the series of outages included Comcast, Spectrum, Verizon, Cox, and RCN. The problem itself was due to a misconfiguration at level 3 and not nefarious doings by hackers or some sort of DDoS attempt or anything like that. It was just a misconfiguration that happened by the ISP itself.
So someone got fired.
As you can see by this chart, the red areas are where people are really mad because they can't watch porn on the internet. That's my assumption there.
Ironically, the red indicates the blue balls of
Yes.
the country.
Completely unrelatedly, Level 3, the internet company, it's an internet backbone company. They're also an enterprise ISP, so they provide internet service to big companies and that kind of thing.
Word.
They were recently acquired by CenturyLink. I'm sure that has nothing to do with this. The issue itself was resolved in about 90 minutes, but went on long enough to get worldwide trending on Twitter for Comcast outage, amongst other things. The misconfiguration was a route leak, causing multiple autonomous systems, or AS units, to issue incorrect information about the IP addresses on their network, which caused inefficient routing and failures for both the originating ISP and other ISPs trying to route traffic through their systems. The route leaks can be malicious in nature. Sometimes they're called route hijacks or BGP hijacks. But Monday's incident, as of yesterday, appears to have just been caused by a simple mistake that ballooned into a national incident.
I don't think I was affected by this.
I wasn't either.
Thank God.
I have Frontier Fios, formerly Verizon Fios, but now Frontier Fios. And yeah,
Good old
they're
Frontier.
not part of this. It's been pretty stable for me,
Thank God.
which is good.
Yep.
I have no reason to have any love for Frontier as a company so far, but
Right.
internet's been stable, so.
Yeah, we have
you
AT&T, so we were not affected either. That's good.
Speaking of AT&T, Sprint and T-Mobile. They've been in talks about a massive merger. I believe we discussed it. What is this weird video? But Sprint and T-Mobile have called off merger talks after months. For months they've been discussing this. Sprint Corp and T-Mobile US Inc. Said on Saturday that they've called off these talks. No more discussion about the number 3 and number 4 wireless carriers in the United States merging together to provide a little bit more competition for the likes of Verizon.
Okay.
This is the latest failed attempt because they have tried this before, and both sides have showed unwillingness to part with too much of their prized U.S. telecom assets.
Yeah. Holding on to their pride.
Got too much stuff, don't want to let it go. This failed merger,
orders.
however, could help keep wireless prices low because there are currently, of course, the 4 largest providers of wireless cell phone service, and now there's still 4 rather than 3.
Maintains competitiveness.
So they're still fighting for consumers all around, so potentially better for consumers, I guess. They did take the unusual step of making a joint announcement on the canceled negotiations, which could indicate that they're still working closely enough to recognize the merits of a merger, keeping the door open for potential future talks. Future talks. Sorry,
Well,
I'm trying to enunciate. I've been drinking.
I mean, Sprint is kind of like the bastard of the ISPs.
The hell's this?
No one,
Stop
what
it.
The fuck?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Good Lord.
Stupid thing.
All right, carry on.
All right, next up.
Games report.
No, one more story here for the news.
So sorry.
Have any of you guys upgraded to Windows 10?
No. Why would we ever do that?
Quite a few people have, but
Why?
there has been a way to upgrade to Windows 10 since the Windows 10 upgrade offer expired. It's using the assistive technologies exception. However, this exception will be ending on December 31st, 2017, at the end of this year. So it's been more than a year since Microsoft ended the Windows 10 upgrade program. That was on July 29th, 2016. The Get Windows 10 program which allowed a very broad upgrade path for people to have a free upgrade from Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows XP even, you could do. But since that ended, there has been this assistive technologies loophole. If you were someone who needed to use assistive technologies, which is something as simple as pulling up the on-screen keyboard on Windows, you were still eligible for this upgrade, which basically meant that anyone who was aware of this and knew the proper procedures to go through could still get an upgrade to Windows 10.
It was a major loophole, basically.
A loophole, yes. But yeah, something that was there.
Pretend you're
but it's ending now.
Deaf or blind. There you go.
Yeah, you have to kind of pretend that you need the assistive technologies in order to do it. But sometime just in this past week, Microsoft has quietly edited their FAQ page about this. The heading originally said, "We will make a public announcement prior to ending this offer." And now that text has been replaced and reads, "The accessibility upgrade offer expires on December 31st, 2017.
That's the announcement.
As seen in this image here.
Okay.
So yeah, if you were interested and still hadn't taken advantage of an upgrade from a prior version of Windows to the current version of Windows 10 and you're interested, then maybe this is something you still want to do. There is a link to this ZDNet article in this video's description, and there's a link in that ZDNet article to how to actually go about doing this. I'm not going to describe how to do it to you here, but it's not very difficult.
Cool.
And if you have a system that's using an earlier version of Windows and you want to upgrade it for free, you should probably do that now. If you don't, that's okay. There's plenty of people who are like, I love Windows 7 and don't like the Windows 10 stuff. Or
yeah, no, screw that.
There's a slightly smaller group that's like, I love Windows 8 and I don't like Windows 10 stuff. I don't quite understand them. Probably they want to use the TV streaming features. All right, let's move on to Games Report.
Games Report.
Yes, the Games Report, Kyle. We're going to talk about
gaming
games.
news?
There have been some gaming news, a little bit of Steam news here, and of course, BlizzCon was just this weekend. So Blizzard did have several announcements.
Not too far away from us,
about
actually.
that. Yeah, it was very close, but I didn't go to it.
Neither did I. That's okay.
So the Steam hardware survey has recently been published, and this article is pointing out not just some of the Steam hardware survey results, but also that Windows has stopped updating its official Windows market share page, which they had been using in the past to say like, hey, look how good Windows 10's doing. But they weren't able to tweak their numbers enough to be like, hey, look how good Windows 10's doing. So they just stopped updating it. Okay. The article points out that there's still 3 other ways you can possibly see how Windows 10 is doing overall as an operating system. Stat Counter's latest update, net market shares figures, or, of course, the Steam monthly user survey, which is a very good way of looking at people who are actually playing PC games. And hold on, I'm going to open up the actual link right here so we can look at some charts. Look at these charts. Click for more info.
No, I hate charts. Charts are usually
Why can't I get a bigger look at the chart? All I can do is click for more info. I can't look at the. I want to see.
You can only look at the details. The detailed
make
look.
The chart's bigger. Anyway, for October 2017, the Steam hardware survey did seem to have a pretty big shift in that Windows 7 gained 21.47 percentage points this month, climbing to 65.47% of the share of operating systems used. However, while you might look at that and be like, wow, Windows 10 sucks, because Windows 10 did shed 17.38 percentage points to get to 28.6% market share. There is another factor here. If you look at the language section of the survey, simplified Chinese surged 26.83 percentage points to 56.37% in October, while English fell 13.4 to 21.24%. So the article is surmising that this big boost in people participating in the Steam hardware survey from China using Windows 7 is what's causing this shift. It's not necessarily a bunch of people who have been like, Windows 10 sucks, I'm going to roll back to Windows 7 or something like that.
People who are already on Windows 7, and they're all from China, apparently.
It's more people in China using Windows 7. I don't know what version of Windows 7 they're using. I don't know if it's hacked. Hacked Windows 7. It's possible. But
interesting.
Definitely is an interesting shift to look at if you're looking at hardware surveys. Beyond that, though, of course, BlizzCon was just this past weekend, and Blizzard announced quite a few things. I'm going to talk about the things I was most interested in.
All right.
Starting with Vanilla WoW servers.
Vanilla WoW servers.
Vanilla WoW.
So does that mean that they're not monitored or touched by Blizzard themselves? What does that mean by vanilla Blizzard servers? Or that they have no regulation or...
So World of Warcraft the beta launched in 2003. The beta was open for a bit. I don't know when it actually went from beta to not beta. But Vanilla WoW is original WoW. It is the version of World of Warcraft that existed in 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Early on in the development of the game, because the game, of course, has been a game that's evolved over time, over the past, 2017? 2003? 14 years?
So what made it not vanilla anymore?
So what made it not vanilla, and actually I'm not 100% sure about that. That's actually a pretty good question. What really made it not vanilla was the launch of the first expansion. The first expansion was Burning Crusade.
Okay.
And allowed people to go into Outland and the Burning Crusade. Thank you, chat. So that was the first expansion. So when you first played World of Warcraft and you created a character and you leveled it up, you could get up to level 60. When they released the first expansion, Burning Crusade,
you go up to 90, right?
There's a new continent you could go to. There's like a new planet, whatever, a completely new area, and you could level up to level 70.
Okay.
And they've released subsequent expansion packs after that. They'll let you go to level 80, and then level 90, and there's like a 95 in there, I think, and then 100.
Okay.
And this expansion that they've the most recent expansion that they talked about just this weekend is going to let people get up to level 120.
Okay.
And there's new continents, and there's a Horde versus Alliance renewal of Horde.
But there has to be more to this vanilla, non-vanilla thing than just the maximum level you can reach, right?
Yes. So, I mean, there's been tons of changes to the game over the years. In the UI, functionally the way it works, there's, of course, been a bunch of changes under the hood that people aren't aware of as far as how the game functions itself. So, for a long time, I would say even since Burning Crusade, there's been a lot of people who were like, I liked how it was in vanilla. I liked the original version. There were a lot of stuff that was more challenging. There's different stuff that they've done over the years that a lot of people have looked at and said, like, you did this so that made the game easier to make more people come and play the game because it's easier and now it's simpler and now it's easier for the noobs and now there's more noobs and whatever. All that kind of stuff. So vanilla is the original game. There's a lot of differences, a lot of stuff that people are accustomed to now that wasn't how it worked back 10 to 12 to 14 years ago. Yeah. But there's enough people who have been interested in playing that game in its original form, and there's been enough people at Blizzard who recognize World of Warcraft as not just a video game, but one of the first massively popular MMOs. A video game that changed a lot of the way that people play video games in general. A video game that had one of the largest player bases, at least in the United States, especially when it comes to a paid game.
Right.
So there's a lot of sort of world firsts, I guess, that you might say that World of Warcraft had. So there's a lot of interest both from the community as well as, I would imagine, from the developers of the game itself to be like, all right, this original game that we created back in 2004, 2005, we can't just make that again right now. But wouldn't it be cool if we could? So this is what they've promised people that they would actually do. Now, there's been attempts to do this in the past. Over the past year, Starwars was a sort of a rogue independent server that had a vanilla version of WoW that they had built themselves. Blizzard has at times seemed like more of an aggressor going after these independently created realms that people like to play in, but at the same time there is some understanding of them, like they have to protect their intellectual property and that kind of thing.
Sure.
But the article, and if you guys want to read it, it's linked in the description, PC Gamer, is a fairly in-depth interview with J. Allen Brock, who is the vice president and is executive producer of WoW. He talks about vanilla WoW servers, the announcement at BlizzCon, as well as some of the issues that they've had to attempt to overcome when it comes to even addressing something like, can they make vanilla WoW servers? He said the original problem was that we would have to run 2 MMOs, essentially. We'd have to run Classic WoW, and then we'd have the current WoW at the same time. Classic WoW and current WoW don't really work in the same way anymore. Classic WoW has all kinds of bugs and problems. It also has all kinds of exploits and hacks that everyone already knows about because it's 10 to 15 years old.
Sure.
The problem goes down to the base level programming and hardware that vanilla World of Warcraft used in 2003. But Brock says that this team has made a breakthrough, and we think we have a way to run the classic servers on the modern technical infrastructure. And my assumption here is that it potentially has a decent amount to do with instancing, which is something that they've done a lot over time when it comes to the instances themselves, as well as instancing specific areas. And they've made a lot of advances over time in that.
Right.
The expansion with Death Knights was a big step forward in that area.
Because I'm totally out of the loop, but as someone who used to play WoW regularly, does this move entice you to jump back into the game?
Potentially.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of nostalgia there. So it's an attempt to try to separate the nostalgia from reality. But it's also one of those things where, like, 10 years ago, I might have had a different sort of daily schedule as far as my ability to play video games and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I've said before, that the number of people playing World of Warcraft and the community that was involved was an experience that I feel like I haven't had or seen recreated since that existed in World of Warcraft back when I was playing it regularly.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really cool experience just to have that many people invested playing a game all at the same time who can get together to play with on quests and do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So the prospect of World of Warcraft and the vanilla variety, which is more challenging, which requires more investment of time, which has high-level raids and that kind of thing that were only unlocked by the most elites of guilds back in 2005, 2006, 2007, now suddenly being available again, I think has a lot of potential. It has a lot of people.
Might be time for you to create a new guild, Paul.
Possibly. It is pointed out in the article that there's a lot of advancements that have been made, such as cross-realm servers, looking for raid, dungeon finder, automatic party matchmaking that has been integrated into the game that wasn't there with vanilla and isn't going to be there for the new version that comes out. They did meet directly with Nostalrius, the private server team that created the vanilla WoW server that was incredibly popular before it got shut down due to actions by Blizzard. But Nostalrius actually turned over its code to Blizzard in order to play with it and pick at it and see what they had accomplished. So yeah, it certainly seems like Blizzard has taken a lot of time and a lot of thought about this. But yeah, despite all of the changes that have happened over the years, specifically quoted in the articles like casting an intellect buff. You had to cast the buff and then drink to get your mana back up before you could cast it again. And they realized like that was a stupid thing. Like You should just be able to cast it and cast it. Like, you shouldn't take that much mana. But it did back in the day, and you're going to have to do that again if you go back to the original vanilla version. So lots of little details about that people probably have maybe taken for granted over the years, but we'll see how it actually goes. But Blizzard says if millions of people show up and play for years, that's awesome. If just tens of people show up and play for years, we're fine either way. They're going to support it. Hopefully we'll see something along these lines in 2018. Cool. And we're going to argue about this in just a second.
Sweet.
Actually, let's post that right now.
All right.
Should we make a vanilla WoW guild? Well, I've had several. My wife and several other people have already asked me about this, since this is a potential thing that's coming soon. And I've thought about it, and I've been like, you know what? It's an investment of time that you kind of have to think about beforehand. Is it something that we should sort of, like, I don't know, could live stream and play games and that kind of thing? If you guys are interested and want to vote on that, please go ahead and do so.
I personally have to say yes.
Wait, no, we're not answering yet.
Oh, we're not answering yet.
I have one thing to talk about.
Go ahead.
While people argue on that. Also, some news from BlizzCon. Starcraft II, which is a really, really good RTS game, very well made, very well balanced, is going free to play. Whoa. It launched 7 years ago in 2010.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy to think about as well.
Free to play?
Going free to play now.
Completely free to play.
Yes.
You don't have to buy StarCraft II anymore. You can just download it.
You can just download and play it.
What? They're like, we've gotten so much. They've actually.
Because they want more people to play the game, and it's the type of game you play and get better at and get interested in is playing MMO and not MMO, but RTS, but play against other people online. Significant portions of single and multiplayer content for no charge will be available starting November 14th. Wow. Players will be able to download Wings of Liberty, the original campaign, for free. If you previously paid for Wings of Liberty and you have an account on Battle.net, you'll be able to get the Heart of the Swarm expansion for free instead. And if you previously have paid for all the expansions, like I have, for example, you're going to get an exclusive Ghost skin and 3 new portraits, which isn't exactly like getting my money back, but okay, Blizzard, at least you've done something.
Digital content. Sure.
Players will also be able to earn full free access to ranked multiplayer play, including units from all 3 of the game's expansions. That mode will be locked until players notch a single unranked or AI win on 10 separate days. And it's just an example of one of Blizzard's things that they have accepted to be a nice sort of lockout as far as play through a balance between you can do this much to get to the next level, or you can just pay us some money.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're usually reasonable with that.
I feel like StarCraft II is so competitive that I would never be able to survive.
Any online game. They're going to continue to make money off StarCraft II by selling co-op commanders, additional single-player campaigns at $15 each, or $40 for a bundle of 3, and other premium upgrades like announcer packs, special skins, and war chests.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
For all the diehard StarCraft II players out there.
Yeah, I kind of want to... I don't think I actually finished the StarCraft II campaign, so I feel like I still need to do that.
I feel like a lot of diehard players for StarCraft II mainly played the online just to play against other people. Like any of the Battlefield or Call of Duty
that
franchises.
becomes a big part of it.
No one plays the campaign. You just go straight into multiplayer and kill people.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, if you want to hunt the most dangerous game, you have to play against a fellow human. I think that's part of it. Okay.
It's the only worthy opponent.
Let's see what clicked on the wrong thing. What do you guys think about making a vanilla WoW guild?
Vanilla WoW guild.
Yes.
Call it awesome hardware. I think that sold it for me. I was like,
hardware.
just to call it awesome hardware is so gold.
That would be pretty clutch.
Internet gold.
Because
you have to create it now.
Because you know we're playing Horde. We're not playing Alliance.
Fuck Alliance.
Alliance.
Who the fuck's Alliance? I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. But I feel like I'm on the right side.
For the Horde.
But I feel like I'm
That is a pretty significant amount of people, though, who feel that we should make...
awesome hardware.
Awesome hardware.
For the Horde!
All right.
Brilliant!
Thanks for all of your responses in that.
Yes!
We have one last segment.
Oh, do we?
No, we don't. That was a sword fight. We forgot to argue about it.
Oh, this is
Never mind. It's fine.
Jared Becker, $5.
Q&A.
Paul, do you know when the coolant from your Arctic Panther build will be available to buy? I'm putting together a cart for liquid build. Should I wait?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry. It's from Primo Chill. They're still developing it. Mine had the unique situation that it was white, and then it turned blue. I think because of some.
And then it reverted back to white.
Yeah, and then it's back to white now, which I'm just like, wow. Okay.
It's set and forget it.
It's very
George
it's
Foreman
amazing
material right there. That's good. Looks great.
Yeah, I would try tweeting to @PrimoChill. Maybe they can give you a better idea of when it's actually going to be available at retail.
Okay.
Because this is early stuff, and I was using it in a not normal manner, but it's still been pretty cool. It still looks really cool. The texture that's in there is freaking awesome and cool looking.
It looks even better in person.
Yep.
GGB is $13.37. Loot. Paul from Movember. Here's your share.
Oh, thank you.
Are you going to do the Movember thing?
Movember, yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Yep. Me too.
Although I need to figure out how to raise money for it.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to set up some things for donations, or we'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Fred Rant, $50.
Thanks, Fred. Oh my God.
Paul, have you taken your wife to a nice dinner, or do you require a pie for motivation like Kyle?
Ooh. I do love pie.
Thanks for bringing that up, Fred.
Fred, we're going to dinner as soon as this half ends.
A very nice sushi dinner.
Yeah, I hope it's delicious.
It qualifies.
It's going to be great.
I'll be sad I'm not there.
Thank you, Fred, though.
$5. Paul, the beard is on point. Kyle, I'm looking to up the hair game. What products do you use? I do not really use much of any product.
You don't put anything in your hair?
I occasionally will use...
You just go like that?
I have like this sort of wax that I'll use right when my hair is cut. For like that week that my hair is freshly cut, I'll actually style my hair with product. But other than that, I never use product.
Aren't you fancy?
I wish I was more fashionable to give you actual advice. I'm sorry. Sorry. Scott Dilbeck, $6.66. Cheers, favorite 90s game console. Do you remember graphics blowing your mind? 90s game... Was GameCube...
PlayStation.
Was GameCube before 2000?
90s?
I think it was probably after, but I would say PlayStation for sure. PlayStation 2. I don't even know. I like the years all blur together.
Yeah, PlayStation 1. I mean, for me with Final Fantasy 7.
And that was the same thing for me.
Was a thing.
That was the same thing for me with N64.
A significant period of time.
I mean, going
PlayStation 2. Wait, when did GTA? There was GTA.
There was like GTA 1, 2,
and then there was Vice City. Well, no, because there's an old
GTA 3 was in PlayStation 2, I think.
PlayStation 2 was the first like current the way GTA is now, like with the
right
with dude.
Well, you still had
3D
like a 3D environment on PlayStation 1, but there was no GTA the way we know it now on that platform until PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 introduced
was GTA 3. And then Vice City came out on it on PlayStation 2. So yeah, PlayStation 2, I guess.
PlayStation 2. Yeah.
Is that... are we answering the question
I know N64 completely blew my mind when I played like Mario, like Super Mario 64 for the first time. I mean, imagine going from SNES, when you're playing like Yoshi's Island, like bullshit, Super Mario Brothers and stuff, two-dimensional, it's all 2D. It's all you've ever known. Going to N64, where you're playing Super Mario Brothers and like 64, it was just, and then like games like GoldenEye.
I want to say PlayStation 1 though.
Perfect Dark.
Original PlayStation.
God.
Original PlayStation, Final Fantasy 7, and original.
Final Fantasy 7 was the first game in existence to ever have a televised commercial.
Really?
Yeah. It was the first video game in existence to actually be advertised on TV.
Impressive. But Final Fantasy VII, I want to say Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal was awesome.
Original Twisted Metal on the original PlayStation.
Yeah, that was a classic.
I feel like that was my freshman year of college.
So good. It was so good.
Freshman year of college, that was PlayStation.
Yeah. I played a lot of
Like
Twisted Metal.
senior year.
Twisted Metal 2.
So old. Old. All right,
You're just
never
an
mind.
old man.
Never mind.
You're just an old man. I'm old too now.
I know.
The more I can relate to you, the older.
I know. It's like. It's like as we get. It used to be you were younger than me.
I know.
But as you get older, I feel like we get closer.
Yeah, right.
Like now we're
gap
now
closes.
we're both old. Kyle.
Yeah, right.
Now we're both old. Together.
I've met your match.
Awesome. All right. What's
All right.
We have a few more
We're
questions.
on Stephen Hill. $10. This is not a
Steven.
donation. No, this is just a tribute.
This is a tribute.
I like that Tenacious D
I
reference,
believe
Stephen.
it's a Tenacious D reference.
Thank
This
you
is
very
awesome.
much, Stephen.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Steven.
it, man. Jesse Fish, $5. What do you suggest for GPU since there are so many of us that experience this problem? The little blue pill isn't helping.
We need a price.
Yeah.
A
There's too many good
ballpark
GPUs
for you,
still.
Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
I still say that the GTX 1070 at $400
Yeah, it's a steal.
right now is kind of
It's good. It's good.
bang for your buck range.
Yep. That'll actually like last you another couple of years.
Yeah, that can handle higher resolutions and stuff.
Yeah. But again,
Okay.
it's hard to say. Zachary Hummel,
Zach,
$50.
$50.
Do y'all want an InWin 509 and
Thank you,
Asus
Zach.
Prime X370 with the shiner? They're currently collecting dust and making my girlfriend mad.
What? I mean,
I'm making your girlfriend mad.
they can come here and make my wife mad.
Tell her
'cause,
to build a damn PC with those components.
Yeah,
She'll
I
be
feel
happy
like
once she-
there's people who don't have lots of hardware lying around who could make better use of that stuff than us.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna go in the recycling otherwise, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. Though.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Much obliged.
Giovanni, $5, 3.5 gigabytes, 1080 it is. Thanks. Another question: do cache latency times make a visible difference to the average user, or only in benchmarks? How big, if so? To my knowledge,
Typically, it's minimal.
cache latency is negligible,
Not much.
especially when it comes to like workstation or even gaming applications.
I mean, if
probably
you're
not gonna see
comparing
much.
two and they're vastly off, if you're looking at like cache latency 14 versus cache latency 28 or something like that, that's a big difference. But usually they're much smaller differences than that, and it's negligible.
I'd say speeds when it comes to DRAM matters most when you're going with a Ryzen platform. You want to make sure to have a pretty fast RAM kit with your Ryzen system. Usually anything like 2933 or above would be advised if you are going to be slotting a Ryzen chip in there. Otherwise, I feel like on Intel platforms, speed, like actual frequency and cache latency doesn't matter as much to the common user. So just get whatever you think makes the most sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Giovanni. Wait,
Heli
no.
Dragon, 510,
Wait,
$10.
no, we forgot. We missed.
Hmm?
No, thank you, Giovanni. I'm sorry.
Heli Dragon 510, $10.01. Sorry, some love for Paul. Thanks for answering my question on Kyle's half about upgrading my Linux box.
You're welcome.
Had not thought about handing my Ryzen 1700 down to the Linux machine later. Love you guys. Yeah, that was
Okay.
a great suggestion.
All right.
Yep.
That's,
Hopefully that works out for you.
I did good.
Matt Smith, $5. I noob have my first high-end system TR4 1950X finally built and been looking at water-cooled 1080 Ti. What's your thoughts on pre-water-cooled cards?
The Asus Poseidon, I know.
Or one of the EVGA hybrids or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like
could be an option for you.
they're fine. They're
The hybrid
quick and easy.
ones, the hybrid ones that come with closed loop coolers attached to them aren't typically transferable over to a custom loop. So
Definitely
you might
not.
consider something that you can integrate with the cooler for your Threadripper as well.
Yeah.
That make a little bit more sense. But yeah, beyond that, I'd say if you've already got the 1080 Ti, a 1080 Ti and a water block, if you're already looking at this type of high-end system, would probably be the best solution overall versus getting something that has one pre-installed or like a hybrid like the Poseidon.
Yeah. Do it yourself. El Jefe Reviews,
El Jefe.
$5. Putting my $5 towards Kyle
Thank you,
catching
Jefe.
a lift back home.
Aw,
Why? Thank
yeah.
you, sir. DUI is no bueno.
Aw.
Trust me, I know. Stay safe and much love from El Jefe. Thank you, El Jefe. Appreciate it, man.
Just get-
Stevie, what?
Get food with us.
You should get food. You should get food with you? Perhaps.
David
maybe
Chow.
I can convince the wife. David Chow, $17.76. Well, Veterans Day. Did 4 years as a medic myself. America, that's America for short. Medical feet a mile, Fahrenheit and pound. Fuck the metric system. Just kidding. I need it for my science major. Take my American money. Take my American money.
I like the metric system.
Thank you, a TV child, for your generous contribution. We appreciate so much. So much.
Thank you, TV.
Thank you, TV. You're the best. We love you.
Giovanni Licamelli.
$10. Love what you two do. Briefly, what each of you do to get into the tech world? What did you major in? Did you need tech certifications to work at Newegg? Was everything you know PC-wise today from Newegg? So I'll just be really quick. I graduated from college. Newegg was the first job I got out of college. I knew jack shit about PCs. This guy taught me most of everything I know fundamentally about PCs, and I've since then built upon that knowledge, and here we are today. So, yes, that's my quick story in a nutshell.
What did I do to get into the tech world? I was interested in computers.
You cheated.
I read magazines and that kind of thing back in the day before the internet was quite as useful for research. These days, you can just get all the info you need on the internet. Yeah, and then I got a job at Newegg. I didn't need any tech certifications. I had already worked at Newegg for several years before I moved into the role that I did where I was making videos about tech stuff and that kind of thing. Most of the stuff I know PC-wise, I had been developing before I worked at Newegg, but of course I continued that, just trying to learn as much as I could through working there. Hopefully that answers your question. But Giovanni, thank you for your donation.
Thank you, sir. Jacob Reynolds, $20. Yo, have some dollary dues.
Thanks, Jacob.
Also, any idea when I'll be able to actually buy an 8700K? They're constantly sold out everywhere, it seems, and until that comes in, I'm stuck with my 1080 Ti being plugged into my old FX 8350 system. Holy crap, yes you are. You could go Ryzen, bro. You could just, Ryzen's readily available. They got plenty of stock. Go for a Ryzen 7 chip. But if you're set on 8700K specifically, I don't know. I don't have the magic answer for you there as to when Intel's going to be in stock with that. They definitely rushed the Coffee Lake launch to compete with Ryzen, and because of that, they've also sort of launched a bit prematurely.
You can get one on Next Warehouse right now for $400.
There you go.
How much?
Get it from Next Warehouse.
How much are they supposed to be?
You might have to wait a little bit longer in shipping, or even pay more in shipping. But if you want it that badly,
at Newegg it's supposed to be $420.
$420, blaze it.
$420, blaze it.
Blaze it. Blaze it.
If this is this is Next Warehouse. They have not the best reviews. No, they have okay reviews.
Okay.
Go to Next Warehouse right now. You can buy one for $400.
Yes, you can.
Add to cart.
Looks like they ship to anywhere in the U.S. and stuff.
Sure.
So,
there you go.
Check that out.
You're fine.
Zachary Hummel, $5. By the way, I'm trying to give you things and money. Call me Zach. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
You the best. ZZ Hardy for the 10 Australian. Kyle will be a natural for Barons chatting.
The Barons chat.
What is that?
Barons is an area in World of Warcraft. It's different now because when Cataclysm happened, they split it up and whatever. But it was a very large area, and when you're playing World of Warcraft, there's a chat box and you're in the bottom, right?
Okay.
And when you're chatting, you can chat into guild chat, or you can, if you're in a party, you're in a small group, you can do party chat. So whatever text you put in there, it might be a different color, whatever.
Sure.
So there's a regional chat for whatever area that you're in.
Right.
The Barons was a very, very large area in Kalimdor, in the western continent.
Okay.
I think that's right. So it was just known for being an area where whenever you went in there, there's lots of people randomly chatting in Barons chat.
Okay.
So Barons chat just got sort of a reputation for being the place where you go where suddenly there'd be just randomness or just imagine going into a random chat room on the internet with tons and tons of people in it with whatever randomness that they want to talk about being discussed. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So he's saying I'd be a social butterfly in this one section of the game.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Thank you, ZZ Hardy.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. Thank you very much, sir. Jared Becker, $5. Just checked the Primo Chill Twitter, and they said the View coolant would be available 30 to 60 days. That was on September 2nd, if that's what it's called.
If that was on 9/2, that's already 2 months ago. So that means it should be available now.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're bluff.
If that's accurate.
And complain.
Otherwise, it's tweet to them.
Cite your citations.
What are you talking about?
Eric Chug, $25. Good night, guys. Thanks for the stream. Loved it.
Oh, thanks,
Eric. Appreciate it, man.
That's super sweet.
Zaffo, $5. Kyle, my dude, we all just want to know the secret behind the hair product. It's grade A. I don't use hair product. 9 out of 9.1 times I don't use hair product. Nothing.
What I need to figure out...
It's just being Asian. Half Asian.
When you guys asked me last year about why I shaved my beard off and I talked about it being itchy and uncomfortable, and your wife was like, this is something like that. It was like, how could you possibly not know about the massive variety of solutions to that problem that I obviously know about?
I don't even know what the hell she's talking about.
I don't either, but I'm just saying.
I have no idea. She's an esthetician, so she knows things beyond our
I'm just saying, there's something that might make this
a different level,
even better.
Maybe.
And she should let me know.
I like the beard though. I think you rock the beard well. I think you should keep it.
I kind of like it.
Guys, let us know what you think in chat. Until then, the Water Cool Fool, $5. Happy early Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Navy myself, Sonar Tech Surface, STG3.
Thank you for your service, sir.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
And happy Veterans Day to our veterans out there. I don't know how many veterans we have who watch the show, but
I don't know either.
I loves
the veterans.
You
were willing to fight for us, like literally.
That's it. Yeah, like it's an insanely
it's insanely selfless.
Yeah.
Volunteer-based thing.
Any guys who are willing to go and risk your lives for the betterment of the country, the nation.
I appreciate that. You fought in whatever war, whatever battle, so I didn't have to. So for that, I sincerely thank you.
Me too.
But I think that pretty much concludes our episode here, as apart from Johnson's.
We need Johnsons for both halves right now.
Johnsons to fire off here.
Just a brief moment here while we load this up. I've got, looks like I got about 5.
Oh, y'all.
So, first Johnson going out to Shane S. from Wyoming. A large order. Pub glasses, thumbscrew, tri-blend shirt, and the hooded sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the zipper. It's a good one.
Nice. Oh, no, that's not me. Oh, wait. Hold on, is it double Shane? No, this is Matthew. This is Matthew D. Beware of bottleneck shirt and the beware of bottleneck shirt. He bought 2 bottleneck shirts in different colors.
You gotta have both colors to get full coverage.
Of course.
Johnson to Jesse from Indiana. Thank you so much, Jesse. You got the thumbscrew stainless steel bottle opener, which is very high quality.
Johnson to Brian for picking up a Bitwit gray logo American Apparel black hoodie.
Nice.
Those are super comfy this time of year.
Aaron P. from California. He got the RGB everything shirt, of course. Insanely popular.
The best shirt.
They just they flying off the shelves.
Best shirt. Johnson to Elijah. Elijah, you picked up a CPU cooler shirt. Thank you, Elijah.
Thank you, Elijah.
Appreciate it. I like your name.
And a big old Johnson for Daniel from Texas. Got the thumbscrew shirt in navy blue.
Double Johnson for Shane.
Double Johnson for Shane.
Picking up a tri-blend shirt for the awesome hardware sword fight and a bit of overclocking mud.
That's lovely. I'm out. I'm done.
I got 1 or 2 more here. Jesse, Double Johnson.
Double Johnson for
Fidget
Jesse.
spinner, of course. Why would you not buy a fidget spinner? And Aaron P. Beware of bottlenecks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron. All right. It is freaking 8:20. This has been an extended version of Awesome Hardware, and we're all done for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit the thumbs up button, of course. If you missed the first half, it's on Kyle's channel, so a link to that is in the description. And we love you all.
Yes.
We'll be back next week with more tech news, discussion, probably drinking and cursing and all that kind of stuff.
All the same goodness that you love.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Bye-bye.